This afternoon we have our guest, Miss Patricia Chica. She's an award-winning filmmaker, producing, directing, writing films for a long time now. And we welcome her in our talk right now. How are you, Patricia? Everything is fine?
I'm doing great. I'm in Montreal in my hometown right now.
Very good. Can you tell us a little bit about your work in cinema? You realized a lot of films and many of them went to several festivals. Briefly, talk to us about your work and your company.
Absolutely. I direct, produce, and promote films. I have done about a dozen short films that traveled around the world and won multiple awards. And right now I am preparing my debut dramatic feature called Montreal Girls. And it's about a Middle Eastern young man from Egypt going to study in Montreal to become a doctor.
Yes.
And there he meets two Montreal girls who will change his perception and reveal him to his destiny, which is to become a poet. It's a poetic, romantic, very uplifting story. So I'm very excited right now to be preparing that film.
Very good. Did you start casting the film?
I started in 2015, 5 years ago to be exact. And we looked for actors everywhere, Middle Eastern actors. It was quite challenging to find professional, outstanding Middle Eastern actors in America.
Yes.
Who can fulfill the age range, the character, and also all the parameters about Canadian funding, because they had to be Canadian citizens, and not only Canadian citizens, but citizens of the province of Quebec. So I was very limited in the people I could cast.
Yes. And I see that the co-writer is Kamal John Iskander. He's Egyptian.
Yes, Kamal, my dear friend and co-writer, he's Egyptian. He is based in Los Angeles. And the story was initiated by him. As being an Egyptian man, he wrote the story of this Egyptian young man who traveled to Canada. And I got on board pretty early into the development phase. So I put my own DNA into the script, being a Montreal girl myself. And together we built this story to become what it is today, the Montreal Girls project.
Tell me, how did you pass through this problem of Corona, since we know about it in the media?
You know, the coronavirus lockdown, it was for me a very transformational pose.
Yes.
And some people could see it as something negative. I chose to view it as an opportunity for me to grow, to educate myself, to delve into the projects that I never had time before to finish. And I just became very productive and very optimistic about the situation. I'm not saying that it wasn't good for other people. I acknowledge there was a lot of suffering and setbacks, and people lost jobs or lost their lives and their health. But I chose to go into the mindset that when we take those opportunities, if we don't evolve with the opportunity, we just fail. And like Darwin said, the species that will not evolve will die. And I saw myself as being somebody who would seize the opportunity to pivot and transform my business, transform my mindset and my lifestyle, my habits, to serve the creations that I want to put into the world. So it was very transformational and also positive, uplifting. I worked out, I wrote a lot, I created new projects. And even one of my TV shows, Pitch, got picked up by a broadcaster during that time. So I feel very, very good about this lockdown and how we become more conscious, as well as people in the industry. How are we going to come back when productions resume to be of better service to our communities, our industry, our cast and crew?
Yes.
And that's the question I went through. How can I improve myself during this time, so when I go back into production, I can be the best team leader I could be for my team?
Yes. And Montreal Girls will be in English, I think, the film, the dialogue, basically.
It's mainly in English. It has a lot of Arabic and some French in it.
Very good. And when do you plan to start shooting?
We are aiming at starting shooting later this summer in 2020.
Yeah.
So that's the goal. We are waiting for government regulations about when can we go back to film with actors in intimate scenes, and the unions, how is it going to be regulated? So those are the details everybody's waiting for answers. So as you can imagine, we are all in this together. Everybody's in the same position, waiting for things to clarify in the industry.
Yes. And of course, I want to ask you about the numbers on the infection now in Montreal or Toronto, big cities in Canada. Are they increasing or decreasing right now?
I don't have that answer because I don't follow the news daily. I choose not to know all these details. What I do for myself is I follow the guidelines. I wear the mask. I practice physical distancing. I respect all the rules, but
Yeah.
I don't follow the numbers day per day because I contribute by doing what needs to be done. But from a larger perspective, I understand that the situation is, in control, under control here in Quebec and Montreal.
Yes.
And I don't see in my surroundings any situations of danger, like big gatherings, or I don't go to bars or restaurants. So I do my own thing, and I concentrate really in what is serving me, is to take care of my health, take care of my immediate family and people around me, and to follow the rules socially.
Any news right now about Toronto Festival or, there is also Festival du Monde, I think, as well in
Yes,
Canada.
I've been in communication with the TIFF, the Toronto International Film Festival programmers.
Uh-huh.
And what I have discovered through speaking with them is that they have reduced to 50% of their programming. And some screenings will be in physical theaters with less people in the theater, and some other screenings will be virtual. So everybody's adjusting to the situation. What I know is that the festival is happening on the dates that is supposed to be happening, that were already scheduled. And the capacity will be 50% less movies this year.
Yes, which is okay. Yes. Do you have any other films you are preparing in addition to Montreal Girls, or any television work?
Yes, I'm collaborating with director Jonathan Kaiser. He directed a beautiful film that's coming out this year. It's called Peace by Chocolate. It's about the Hadhad family from Syria who became war refugees in Canada 8 years ago. And 4 years later, they opened this wonderful chocolate factory called Peace by Chocolate, that is transforming the way people are consuming chocolate in Canada. Even our Prime Minister Justin Trudeau had included them into one of his speeches. And it's based on a true life story, and it's very positive, uplifting. I cry every time I watch the rough cut. It's really incredible. So this movie that is in Arabic and English is coming out this year. So look out for it. It's called Peace by Chocolate.
Excellent, excellent. Well, Patricia, thank you very much for joining us. I wish you the best of luck, and I hope we can screen Montreal Girls in Egypt as well when it is.
That is my desire, and my biggest wish is that we can go to Egypt at some point and present the movie. I
Yes,
love the Egyptian culture, and it's very dear to my heart, having been involved in this project for now, I would say almost 9 years.
yes. I hope it would be realized soon, you know, and
Yes.
let's wish that the upcoming months and next year will be better for all human beings and all the filmmakers, because you know a lot of artists and creators are worried, of course, you know, about the situation, and I hope things could be better in the upcoming period.
Things are getting better already than it was 3 months ago. So we have to always focus on moving forward and how we can make together this situation better for everyone. And that is my deepest intention when I make my decisions and I take action in everything I do, is to bring that uh, uplifting mindset to the masses. My biggest intention as a filmmaker with Montreal Girls is to touch people's hearts, is to inspire and empower audiences worldwide, and especially the Middle Eastern audiences, so they can discover something about themselves that really drives them to move forward and follow their heart. This is the message of the film,
Yeah.
and my intention is to bring it to Egypt and throughout the Middle East,
Yes,
so people there can watch this beautiful film.
yes. Hopefully, we can see it by next year. Thank you
Yes,
very
it
much.
will be ready next year in the spring.
Yes. Hopefully, yes, we can see it all together in Egypt. And
Yeah,
best wishes for you and all your teammates. Hmm?
absolutely. For you too, for all the people watching us, thank you so much for
Thank,
listening.
thank you.
Okay.